Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial we're gonna rig up the mouth. So let's begin. So for starters we're going to need to have 6 heads, so just choose any of the heads. It doesn't matter, don't choose the main one, but choose any and just hold shift and drag it over. And number of copies, 2. We're not going to use these are just going to be for reference because we might need them. So after you've done that, you go into front view if you want. You're going to want to take the plane, the mouth plane. I advise naming it now to save time. Mouth or lips or whatever. And then just hold down shift and we're gonna convert it to poly first, so convert it to poly, and then we're gonna copy it over. Now it doesn't need to line up, so yeah, just make about 5 copies. You can line them up if you want, just so you can get a better reference of what you're gonna make, but you don't have to, doesn't really matter. And then what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to change all these. So the mouth is going to be different from what it was before, from my old one. I think I found a better way of doing it. So what you're going to want to do for this one is going to make sure you're in the modify panel and go into vertex, and we're going to make these small. We're gonna do that. So as you can see, they look like that. Now actually, what I should do is delete the other 2 planes after you've unstuck those 2. Delete the 2 planes you just made after you've done the first one, because it was much easier. I should have done this already. I just copy this over again twice. And then what you're going to want to do is change the vertices again on the plane for the next one. And you're just going to want to move these vertices slightly out, so only on the x-axis or whatever axis you've got. So not completely, but as you can see, it's further out like this. And then again for the next one, I'm going to want to use the scale tool, remember, which is the third one over, and just on the x-axis or whatever axis you're on, that stretches out like this. Just do it quite long. As you can see, we've got 3 different mouths now for that, and it seems we're going to need another head by the looks of it. Yeah. Okay, and then for the next one, so again select the next one and choose the vertices, and what you're going to want to do is scale them inwards and upwards. And yeah, outwards slightly, or in again. And then again, we're going to want to delete the other plane, copy one over again, because we need 6 other planes, so we need to copy that over twice. And again, just like we did with the other mouths, you're going to want to scale them outwards, so something like that. And then for this one, scale it out a lot, so it looks like that. So now you've got a few extra ones. Now I'm just gonna double check that I haven't broken one. Accidentally deleting it. Nope. Okay, so now that we got all those, You can delete the free faces, the free heads at the end if you want, but which you might want to do eventually. But until then, what you're gonna want to do is select the main plane and modifier list, Morpher. I'm gonna add that, and then start picking them out. Now, as long as you only move the vertexes and never added or deleted any, you shouldn't have an issue picking them. Because all the morpher does is it checks the coordinates of the vertexes, and if they've changed, it morphs to that. If you take away a vertex, it won't be able to tell. So it won't be able to tell there's the same vertexes and all that. So now you've got all those, just check it, see if it works, even though some of these probably won't even be viewable from a see. Right, so that's looking alright. So now we just need to add them onto the control panel. So you can name them if you want, which would be a good idea, but I'm not going to. So just like we did with the eyelids and the teeth, just select the go into animation, reaction manager, show select, and click the green plus and click the click the green plus and click the little circle, transform, FK subcontrol position, and then add slave, modified morpher, mouth 004, and I've got a picture that will make it a bit easier to know which corner and that each mouth will be, so I'll leave that in the description. So now that we've got that, this one is going to be in the bottom right corner, so go to the position, select the move, change it from view to parent, and we're going to change this to 2 by 2, oops, no, and then we're going to just add another create state and change that to 100, and then we're going to reset that, so put back to 0, all of them to 0. We're going to add slave, again, plane, modified object, morpher, Morpher 09 for some reason, or like that. Add that, and then you're going to want to move it down, so -2, and we're going to have it in the middle, at the bottom, and just add another create state, and then change that to 100, very bottom, and then just double check it works, which it clearly doesn't. Now the reason it does this is, let's just go back to 002, back to 2, wait, no, -2. Right, and the reason it does this is not that. Right, we'll get to that afterwards. So let's just continue on. Just put it back to 0, 0. So add slave, plain, modified object, morpher, the third one, or whatever, you've got that. And then what you're going to want to do is, again, going to put it in the left hand corner, and add a state, change it to 100, or the mouth 10 to 100, change the mouth 09 to 0, so this one to 0, and mouth 04 to 0, because these two are also being affected, so when it gets into that position, these two should have a value of 0, which they don't, which we want them to. So we can sort that out afterwards. So again, put it back to 0. And we're going to do the top ones now. So again, add slave, modified object, morpher, next one, and then we're going to put this at the top, so top right corner, add a state, change it to 100, and again, change it to 0, change it to 0, add slave, object, morpher, this one's going to go to top middle, add state, change it to 100, usually always the bottom one. You may want to change the mouth 07 here to 0, so that one has it affecting it. Again, back to 0, add slave, modified object, morpher, 12, at -2, add state, change it to 100, change mouth 11 or whatever you've called it to 0, because that's clearly you don't want it. So now just test it and see what you can get. Alright, so let's see if we can change that. So you can see mouth. Can't remember what mouth it is now. Let's see. Right, so what we're going to want to do is create another state and see what we can do. You're going to want to change mouth 09 to 0. And it fixes it. Okay, that's good. I thought it wouldn't work. And you're going to want to go to the middle. Well, not middle. Back to the middle. Choose middle and then just -2. So we can get back to the bottom middle. And you can see some problems. Now, I'd recommend you save before you add these states, because sometimes they can get really confusing. So as you can see, there's a lot of states. So after you've done that, add another state. And I think it's only 009 we want to be affecting the middle one, so change that to 0 and change that one to 0. This could be completely different on yours, but usually you're only going to want one of them at 100 and all the others at 0. You may want to add some slight variation to it, but that's how it goes. Interesting. Weird. So yeah, make sure it is may want to add more states to make sure it's a bit more smoother at certain points, like this one. You may, you don't have to. Mouth. It's more of making sure you don't go outside the lines, because as soon as you go outside the lines, it does some weird stuff. So as you can see, it's looking pretty good. You know, it's working. It's just you got to make sure you don't go and just pull the mouse directly down madly, because that won't work very well. As long as you stay inside the box, it should look alright. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Now, what you can do is add another two faces, which will add smiles. So what you're going to want to do is copy the normal face over toward, just once, delete the morpher on that one, copy it again. And what you're going to want to do is, of course, make a smile if you can. Which ain't going to be easy with the amount of vertexes you've got, but if you really want to, you could add more, but it does get a bit more complicated, and more likely that the faces will overlap, which can be an issue. But yeah, if you want to add these, which you might want to. Add those, so go back to the Morpher, which pressing the wrong one, I was wondering, and then add these two new planes. Let's pick from scene. Add those. Test them. Oh, you can't test them now. But anyway, so when you've done that, you're going to want to create another one of these. Thing. So just change that to view, might make it a bit easier to drag them down. And just drag that down, and then copy it twice. And choose if you want it to go up or down for it to activate the smile. It's up to you, could be either way. I'm gonna have mine -2. So just like we've done with all the others, bring up your action manager, do selection, so it's reselecting that little circle, and then the green plus arrow, choose the circle, transform, FK subcontrol, position, choose add slave, plane, modified object, morpher, and I believe it's number 7, and then choose that to 2, and choose the value to 100, which is looking right. So then, yeah, so change that back to -2 starting, and again we're going to do it the same in the next one. So select that one, update the selection so you can see that, choose the green plus button, transform, FK subcontrol, position, add slave, modified object, morpher, at the very bottom, and then change it to 2, create state, change to 100, so if it didn't work, yeah, something else. What the? No. Sorry. Oops. Okay, we'll do that again. Bring up the reaction manager, show selected, add master, choose the circle, transform, FK subcontrol, position, add slave, modified object, Morpher, 7, believe, and then change it to 2, add it to 100. Okay. And that one's pretty much done, so you can -2 it again. 0. Then we're going to want to select a new one, add, transform, a position, add slave, plain, modified, morpher, which is the bottom one, and change that to add it to 100, and there we go. Let's added that. So I'm just going to give it 0, 0, 0, get like half, and just see what it looks like from as you can see. It keeps it. It keeps the sad face. Now I believe you could update the morpher, shape it slightly differently, but you can't add more vertices to it, or you'd have to do the entire thing again. So yeah, just put that back to 0, choose this back to 2, -2. So yes, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we'll do the brow. We're probably only going to make it so it can go pointy arrow shape. It's better just to move it around than to have a control panel for it. Maybe the eyes as well, we'll see. So thank you for watching. If you found this useful, give it a like. There'll be image for the mouth in the description. Share it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, dislike it. So thanks for watching.